Right, everyone. So we now have the full squad list for the Bryn Hargreaves All-Star squad. Kicking off with number one, sponsored by Greenmount Projects, is Ian Hardman. Won a few trophies with Saints and a teammate of Bryn's. Number two, sponsored by Magicological, is Chris Smith. A long career, had a good stint at Saints, won a few things there. Number three, sponsored by BJ Skips, is Lee Gilmore. Very, very successful at Saints, treble winner, World Club Challenge winner twice. Number four, sponsored by Bedford, Alma and Sumner, is Paul Loughlin, the first player we interviewed on here, actually, and had a successful career at Saints, moved on to Bradford, where he actually finally won a Super League title. Number five, sponsored by Pianos, Pies and Pirouettes, is Richard Owen. Mainly at Castleford for his career, very long career as well. Number six is sponsored by Nissa Local, Smithy Green, is Danny Brough. Very, very underrated halfback in my opinion, or standoff, whichever way you want to go. Number seven, sponsored by Bamford Family, is none other than Sean Long. Legend of the Saints, teammate of Bryn's as well. Very, very successful, did it all for Saints. Number eight, one of the more respected prop forwards to ever play the game, sponsored by Status Landscapes, is Adrian Morley, Big Moz. NRL Premier, Super League winner, and Great Britain International. Number nine, sponsored by GJH Dental Limited, is Mickey Hyam. Very long career, had a good stint at Saints, played with Bryn as well. Also, we have the Mickey Hyam Fund team versus Steve Prescott Foundation team at Ruskin on the 7th of December, so keep an eye out for that as well. Number 10, sponsored by Motormech, is the big fella, Maury Fassavalu. Again, been on the podcast before, lovely bloke. Treble winner with Saints. Great Britain International and Samoa Rugby Union International as well. Number 11, an absolute legend of Wigan Warriors, sponsored by podpod.co. I'll try that again. Podpod.uk, is Mick Cassidy, done it all with Wigan. Number 12, sponsored by Northern Alarms, is Keith Mason. Very long career, had a good stint at Saints as well. 13, sponsored by Tonks Shoes Limited, is Stephen Wild, teammate of Bryn's at Wigan and Great Britain International. Number 14 is an absolute legend of Wigan, played in that great side of the 80s, sponsored by Barbers of Standish, is Ronnie Braithwaite. 15, sponsored by Chloe Dunn, is Scott Moore, teammate of Bryn's, had a good little run at Saints before he ended up moving on. Number 16, sponsored by J.E. Whittle Limited, is Gareth Frodsham. Teammate of Bryn's at Saints and a Challenge Cup winner. 17, sponsored by Wigan Brewhouse. There she is. It's Wayne Godwin, Wagataurus. Teammate of Bryn's at Wigan. Great career, spent a lot of it at Castleford. Number 18 is sponsored by Shaw Fire Heating and Maintenance. It's Paul Anderson. It's not the Paul Anderson that we know at Saints. He did play at Saints, but it's not the big fella. Number 19 is Lee Doran, sponsored by Shaw Fire Heating and Maintenance as well. Excuse me on this, by the way. I'm having a nightmare with this, but it is what it is. I'm not used to having a script. I'm used to just whittling on. Spent time across a lot of clubs, a long career. Number 20, sponsored by Northern Alarms, is arguably one of the greatest captains to ever play for Saints, and that is Mr. Chris Joynt. Again, won it all at Saints as captain. Just an absolute legend of the club. The assistant coach is Paul Aitchison. Again, played at Wigan and Saints. And the head coach is a man who came over from Australia and made an absolute impact, and he stayed at Saints for a long time. That is Phil Vivers. So the ticket link is in the Instagram bio. Get yourselves down, support the cause, and let's have a good day.